let's get into Leon first, and then we're going to talk about the aftermath of all this. But let's go into Leon. We talked about he doesn't need to make a lot of changes. He's still young enough to make another run. I think he might even be young enough to make 2 more runs. But where does he go from here? Who do you think you would see him against potentially?
Oh man, I'll tell you what. Right now, you got to give him someone that is going to be, at least in my opinion, someone that matches up to make his style exciting. It can be both same, and you're not saying that you're giving him a freebie fight. You're giving him a tough fight, but you want it to be a style that is not going to be in that position to really put him on his butt the whole fight. And so you can take a look and say, if I'm going to be in that, who is a guy that, doesn't really wrestle all the time, but still will wrestle? I'm telling you, I think Joaquin Buckley. You've got Joaquin Buckley being a guy that he likes to strike. He's got power in his strikes. He's fancy as far as, he'll do the spinning, kicks and everything. The damn kick that he pulled off against Impa Kasaganai was, that was Matrix shit. Yeah. So you look and you go, is that a good matchup? Because Leon he's definitely going to fall from number 1, at least to number 4, I think. 4, somewhere 4, maybe 5. Because obviously Brady's going to go up. I think Brady's going to probably be number 2. I know they were saying number 1. I don't see how they're putting him ahead of Shavkat, but just the way it is. I'm being honest. Shavkat's going to move up, even though he's hurt. That would be a reason why you could say it. And even though when you're looking at Jack getting the shot against Bilal, they would like to say number 1 contender. So that might be that Jack, Della Maddalena ends up being number 1 and Sean Brady gets number 2, number 3, somewhere in there. But you can look at the whole thing, and Buckley's right there behind Sean Brady right now, but before they change it up. So Leon and Buckley will be right together. That's not a bad matchup. And if you're going to say, okay, let's not do that one, I'm going to say Ian Machado Gary. That's a great fight right there. Great striker. I think he would strike with him. Gary possibly would try to take him down, but he doesn't have the level of takedowns that I think that someone like a Brady or a Bilal has. So it's going to be much more difficult for him to get him there.
I don't like the Ian Gary fight at all.
Why?
I think it ends up just being a boring fight. You're gonna have 2 guys. They're both fast. They're not gonna take chances. One's gonna try to stick and move and hit and touch.
Both coming off losses.
I agree, but Ian Gary's gonna be one of those guys. He's just gonna try to use his reach and range, touch real fast and get out. And Leon is a guy that he doesn't try to push the pace on people. So you're gonna end up with.
Hold on, but that's one of the things you were talking. Little things that got to change. Yeah. One of the things that has to change for Leon is he has to start moving forward and throwing. He's not throwing near enough.
But the thing is you can't really do that with Ian because you'll leave yourself out of position to get knocked out. And that's not the fight to do that with. Yeah. If I was to pick somebody that maybe you could do that with, maybe a Jeff Neal. But do you go that far down? That's the only concern. I like the Joaquin Buckley fight because Joaquin, he will stick and move, but he will also stand and sling.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll mix it up, too. He'll wrestle. He's explosive wrestling, big dumps, big takedowns.
Super strong.
Yeah, but he's not really trying to hold you down. He's like, I'm going to take you down, show everyone I could. Now I'm going to give space to try and ground and pound your face in. And when I can't get it done, if you get up, you get up. I'm just going to go back to what I'm doing. So I do like the Joaquin Buckley fight. That's a great call. I just wasn't, if we're looking to try to get Leon a win, because that is a big market they need to stay in.
Sure.
And so understanding where we need to do it to get him a win is probably like a Jeff Neal fight. But Jeff Neal's still a very tough fight. He could potentially clip him and hit him. Look what he did with Shavkat. And speaking of Shavkat, John, I am completely against what you just said. Shavkat is out. Shavkat is out.
Because he's hurt.
No, not because he's hurt. Not because he's hurt. He went the distance with Ian Gary. He went the distance with Jeff Neal, who's ranked what, 9?
He didn't go the distance with Jeff Neal.
Well, John, he
finished him.
Okay, it was a very, very at the very end of the fight.
Okay, but he finished him.
At the very end. Okay, let me ask you this: what performance was better, Sean Brady's tonight against the number 1 guy, or the one against Jeff Neal, who was like a number 9 guy at the time?
dude, hold on. I'm going to sit there and say I'm saying this because I said that I actually picked Shavkat against Jeff Neal as fight of the year. It was that good. It was back and forth, and it did show that there was some holes in the game of Rakhmonov, but it also showed that he was able to overcome difficult times and still pull out the win and still get the finish. The only finish he hasn't gotten was against Gary. So, I look and it's hard for me to sit there and say, oh, because I wasn't happy with your last performance not being a finish, because every fight he's had has been a finish except for that one.
But not against top level guys. Sean Brady's fought more higher ranked guys than Shavkat has. Why would he get the title shot?
Why would who get the title shot?
Why would Shavkat get the title shot? Sean Brady's fought higher ranked guys.
First off, he's undefeated.
Sean Brady just beat Leon Edwards.
You're right. He did.
The number one guy. Shavkat never beat a number one guy. Never beat a number two guy.
Shavkat.
Did he beat a number three guy? Nope. Didn't beat a number three guy either.
Hold on.
Did he beat a number four guy? Nope. Not even.
Hold on. Let's see. Let's go with this. Shavkat is what? 19-0, right? All right. He's got 8 wins by knockout. He's got 10 wins by submission.
How many are in the UFC by
whoa.
No.
That's
the ones
out of
outside
19 fights.
The ones outside
we
the
have
UFC
8
do not count.
And 10.
How many in
Just
the UFC?
one fight.
How many in the UFC?
And he's got 9 first-round submissions. Look at you can't take it away from him. Man.
Oh, yes, we can. How many times has the UFC done that? Dana White has taken it away. John, I was on the receiving end of a UFC title shot being taken away. Twice I was on the receiving end in different eras. In different eras, John. Like literally 10 fucking years apart. Yeah, basically 10, 11 years apart. 2 times supposed to fight for the UFC title. Both taken away. So don't tell me they won't do it. They do it all the time.
Because you weren't nice.
This is
if you've been a little...
I was easy to work with. It just there was other reasons, but I was easy to work with because I took every fight.
Yeah, well,
except for the Rabadanov fight, I said no to that.
Not Rabadanov, but that was you. That was the Ruslan.
Yeah, Ruslan. Not what's his last
name? God damn it!
I thought it was that.
I screwed him.
I can't remember his name.
It is Ruslan is his first name, and I can't.
Yeah.
But he's tough. He's tough.
He was tough, man. He was tough. But look, I guess I think that Sean Brady should leapfrog Shavkat. And I'm a huge fan of Shavkat. I think he's a fantastic fighter. We did see the holes in his game with Jeff Neal. We did see some holes in his game with Ian Gary a little bit too. Not as much because they're both, stand-up guys, this and that. But it was a good win. But Ian Gary was never ranked, and it wasn't in the top 5 at the time. So why am I going to jump him from number 4 or 5, whatever Shavkat was at, to the title shot? I know because he's undefeated. That the UFC wants to do that before he does lose. I get that. And if you can have a champion that's undefeated, that's what boxing's been doing. It's money. I can say the undefeated fighter,
Right.
This many
never been defeated. Come on, it's important.
Only one time went the distance in his career. Blah blah blah.
That's all good stuff.
That's all great
called
stuff.
Marketing, baby.
It's all marketing. I agree with you. Yeah. I do agree with you. But Sean Brady, to me tonight, showed that he's the number one guy.
Look, his last two performances have been fantastic.
Yep.
Right. Sean has just looked incredibly good. This was Sean Brady's best performance ever.
Absolutely.
Ever. I mean, which is saying something because the level of competition is going up. But his win against Gilbert Burns was beautifully done, but it wasn't a finish. Yeah. This one being a finish, it's as good as it gets. He had the Kimura against Kelvin Gastelum that was fantastic too. And, we both have a love for Kelvin Gastelum about how tough he is and how, tough he is to get rid of. And so Sean Brady he's that guy right now. You're looking at, the only mark on his career was the one loss, in the United Arab Emirates, and it was to Bilal Muhammad when Bilal actually was in that wobbly situation of he wasn't having exciting fights. He trained with Habib and he put on a beautiful performance against Sean Brady and took away that O. So,
Yeah.
It would be a great rematch if Bilal gets past JDM. I could see the UFC saying we're going straight to Brady because it's a great story. It's easy marketing.
You said it. The storylines there, easy marketing, just dispatched of Leon Edwards, and then Bilal doing the same thing with Leon, like saying like not the same thing, but you understand what I'm saying. But just coming off those, handing him his 2 losses in 10 years, whatever it was. So, I like that fight more because let's be honest, the UFC does not favor Bilal Muhammad. They're not. No. They're huge fans.
They're not excited.
And if you're going to pick someone that potentially could beat Bilal, the style of which Sean Brady fights, if he fights a fraction of the way, or not fraction, if he fights the way he did tonight, I mean, it could end up being definitely a really good fight. But I could see Sean coming away with the win. I can see Bilal winning too. But I think the way to beat someone like a Bilal more so would be a Sean Brady style more than a Shavkat style, because Jeff Neal was able to back Shavkat up and have moments in that fight. Bilal Muhammad is gonna just fucking maul you. He's gonna just be in your grill the whole time. So we're gonna see actually what happens. The JDM fight may disrupt everything, and we're just talking out our asses right now.
That's true.
So that's something to take into consideration.
That's JDM's got the power and he's got the ability in the stand up to definitely cause problems. But
absolutely.
This episode is brought to you by BetUS. Make sure you guys YouTube 150 for the promo code. Also, Element, use the link in the descriptions down below. Any product you buy from there, they will send you a bonus package of product if you use our link down below. Element's amazing, man. I love it. And I want to say thank you, man. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support us.